Right, and welcome to my sort of tier list of which evil geniuses are the best. We're gonna start from worst and go to the best. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. So we're gonna be starting with Zalika. Now, you may think, well, Zalika gives bonuses to her science minions. But that's not entirely true. She only gives bonuses to technicians, not to her actual scientists. She doesn't even give a boost to scientists using the ability, My Plans Take Priority. That does not increase scientist efficiency and increases technician efficiency. Sure, she pays them less, but they're not any better. Her damage is low, her armor is also low, and her Doomsday Device doesn't really give you anything. It gives you science. But the thing is, by the time you have Tier 3 Void, is that what it's called? Does it say anywhere? No, it doesn't. Of course not. But Tier 3 Void gives you like Tier 4 Science that you'll already have by then. And it can give you the same science you already have. So yeah, Zalika is the worst evil genius. Never play Zalika. Now we're moving on to Emma. Now Emma's actually pretty good. But just not good enough to make the top 2. Polar will be a separate video. So, Pay Attention is actually pretty good. Orders minions to prioritize jobs in the vicinity, just like all the others, but it also increases the spotting power. Now here's the thing, it's a lasting effect that lasts for, if I count it correctly, at least 3 minutes. Which is pretty decent, you know, you can like boost the spotting power of the minions. Like minions who are guarding an area, like guard posts. You get them guarding there, give them like the increased spotting power, and they'll be able to spot more agents before they're able to get to important places in the base. Then Plotter is pretty good, because it resets all cooldowns, and it's really good on one of the henchmen. And, unlike Zalika's ability, True Genius, which really doesn't do anything at all, Spy Master. Okay, so basically, Deception minions are more effective, like they reduce more resolve, skill, suspicion, and you can reduce heat far more efficiently across the global stage of things costing less intel to reduce the heat. Yes, Emma is definitely a good evil genius, but just not the best. Now we're moving on to the second best. Red Ivan. That's my Red Ivan voice. It's probably awful. It's Red Ivan. He prioritizes in Muscle Mania. So I probably should have said that. Zalika's Science, Emma's Deception. Red Ivan. Muscle Minion. Muscle. He prioritizes the Muscle Minions. Might makes right. Born in battle, Ivan is capable of marshalling a large number of Muscle Minions without paying quite so much. Honestly, I think it would be better if they worded it quite as much. But honestly, that's just me in general. And even his normal workers pack an extra punch. So basically, his normal workers do really good damage. So they're not just like cannon fodder who easily get defeated. They can do some damage. And he pays muscle minions 25% less, so they can pay basically any minion type that there are, they pay their minions 25% less. In Old School, he shoots a rocket launcher. Now, this rocket launcher does insanely high amount of damage. But the downside is that it sort of blows every single thing up. Everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Causes tons of fires, but does tons of damage. Can kill your own minions too, unfortunately. And do it now. Order minions to prioritize jobs in Red Ivan's vicinity. Any nearby minions receive a combat bonus. Which is really good, because it increases the armor and damage of muscle minions and normal minions, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he's very good. His Doomsday Device, unfortunately, does light everything on fire. He'd be number 1 if his Doomsday Device just wasn't so dangerous that it kills all your minions. You know, I could probably do Polar in today's video. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, but basically, his Doomsday Device burns everything to the ground, but it does give you tons of cash. And, what's it called? Minions, like muscle minions. Okay, now on to number 1. The best of the best, Maximilian. Work harder. Order minions nearby to prioritize dropping Maximilian's vicinity. Now, what it doesn't tell you is that it also decreases all minions' pay nearby by like 10%. And already, he pays everyone 15% less, which means now he pays everyone nearby 25% less. Like, Red Ivan pays muscle minions 25% less, Zalika pays science minions 25% less. Emma, the exact same, but with deception minions. Max pays everyone 15% less, and this makes 25% if they're all if they got them nearby. Train faster, instant completes minion training near Maximilian. Now this is really good. Because like let's say you got this one mission. It's taking absolutely forever to get like the amount of like martial artists or quantum scientists or counter agents you need because they take forever to train up. You can use train faster and instant train them. It's really good if you know how to build your training rooms correctly. Which I do not, but still, it's a really good ability. He does, like, the lowest damage out of any Evil Genius. He has decent-ish armor. He has about as much armor, I think, as a normal worker minion. And he's really good at the start. He has a really fast start to get to, like, the main stories and all that stuff. It's way faster because he starts with 20 minions instead of the normal 15. Which might be like, it's only 5 more minions. But that's 5 more minions to do 5 more jobs before you need to start building lockers. And anything that stores gold and, like, makes gold, he pays less for. He pays less for items. And, basically, he's the best. And, his Doomsday device sure turns people's gold, but it's also free money. Because you can sell the golden statues for like $2,000 each. So it's really good. He's probably the best Evil Genius. He's also the shortest. And his full name is Maximilian von Killen. I'm not going to say that in a German accent because I can't do a German accent. Occupation, megalomaniac. Red Ivan's occupation, muscle. Zalika's occupation, science. Unknown. Oh wait, occupation, former henchman. Occupation, unknown. Occupation, ex-spy master. So apparently they don't know anything about Zalika. But yeah, he's an inventor. And in Evil Genius 1, he was probably the best Evil Genius. And he still is. Now on to Polar, I'm gonna rate Polar differently. I'm gonna rate her on a 1 to 10 scale instead of worst to best. Worst to best, it's Zalika, Emma, Red Ivan, and Maximilian. Polar. Okay. Order minions in the area to prioritize job in Polar's vicinity. Now this also gives a bonus to technicians and engineers, giving them crunch time, meaning they work harder and more efficiently. Overclock is a really good ability. Overclocks the number of minions within the area of effect, improving their performance for a short time. They work like 2 times faster for like, if I count it correctly, 2 to 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure. But then they're burnt out for at least 2 minutes, meaning they work so inefficiently. But overall, overclock is a buff. So if you give it to like your scientist minions or your engineers, they'll work double time. So yeah, very good. I would recommend playing Polar if you have the DLC. We'll be rating 1 to 10 very soon. Polar's influence on the layer causes her minions to lose morale and smarts slowly. Now this is really good. Because if you have comfortable temperature and this with a good morale room, like you have, let's say, 4 Evil Genius TVs, and nobody's really going to betray you. You're not going to have many traitors if you play Polar. But you do have to have the cold and heat elements. Occupation, engineer, extraordinaire. So yes, I would rate Polar on a 1 to 10 scale of good to bad. I'd rate her about a 7. No, 8. 8. I'd rate Polar an 8 on the Evil Genius scale. Evil and good at their job. I'd rate Maximilian 10. Super evil. Super good at his job. Red Ivan's probably a 9 on the Evil Genius scale of best to worst. Emma's probably a 6. And Zalika's a 0. Sorry to anyone who likes playing Zalika, she's just garbage. I've won hard mode as every other Evil Genius, even Red Ivan, and Red Ivan was actually pretty easy. But Zalika she has no buffs to really get through it. So it took me far longer to win as her than other Evil Geniuses. I won hard mode as Maximilian in 13 hours. Red Ivan, it was 20. Emma, it was at least 25. Zalika, it was a full 40 hours to win. And Polar, that was a full 12 to 15 hours. But that's only because it was the last Evil Genius I've played as so far. And I already have like 500 hours in the game, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, now that we've said that, it's time to load a game of... Where's my, here it is. Time to rate some of the DLC minions. On a scale of 1 to 10, I did play Red Ivan for this, some sandbox save, because Red Ivan's my favorite Evil Genius. But do please say, what is your favorite Evil Genius down in the comments? Oh, I'm fine with them deserting.
A minion is starting.
Yeah, I forgot how bad the save was. Like, I really forgot.
Training has stalled.
Wow, this is absolutely awful.
You lack discipline.
Alright, well, well, these minions build this because I have infinite money. There we go.
Training has stalled.
Okay, now it's time to review some of the DLC henchmen. So, Ingenious. Basically just upgraded technicians, but they do have their own special purposes for, first off, there's a few loot items, and they're the only ones who can use this. So, I'm not going to be rating them because they're technically, well, they're technically basically like an upgraded technician and they're needed. Now, if I go to, special, here we go. Workatrons. So, imagine minions. They deal as much damage as the guard and have as much armor. Now imagine, when they die, they explode and light everything on fire, including your own minions. They're awful. Just awful. They do everything a minion does, but worse, basically. And they lose morale and smarts faster. And gain it slower. Guard bots, they're just not too good. They're about above average. They're only about as good. They're worse than a mercenary. If you get mercenaries, there's really no point in having guard bots. They're garbage. Just mechanic minion DLC. If you're gonna buy a DLC, I recommend not buying Mechanical Minion or the Ingenious item pack. I'd recommend buying those last if you're planning on buying the DLCs. And if you can't really afford one, buy the Ocean DLC, the Oceanic one with Polar. Now, Abominations. These guys, they are far too good. They do 3 armor, 3 damage. They have no spotting power, which is fine with me. Now if I go here, they do as much damage as mercenaries. You don't pay them, and they're made out of body bags, meaning that every time a minion is defeated, an agent is dead. You instantly can make an abomination. They are the most powerful characters in the entire game, and they don't create body bags upon death, which means no more losing morale when a minion dies. So it's more likely that more minions are going to lose than agents. And then I will be rating the DLC loot. I got it like all in this room. Let me check. Is that all the DLC loot? I just got to make sure. Looking for the DLC loot. Yeah, I think that's all the DLC loot. Yeah, that's all the DLC loot. Okay, yeah. So now I'll be rating the, yeah, but Abominations, if you want to just... The Abominations, they aren't too fun to use in the game, but they're quite useful. I'd rate them a 6 out of 10. Guard Box and Mechanical Minion DLC, 2 out of 10. Polar DLC is 9 out of 10. Could have been slightly better, but, you know, it's good enough. I'm glad we at least got a DLC that added a new Evil Genius. Now, on to the Ingenious Item Pack DLC. It adds a lot of new items. I'm not going to be able to cover them all in today's video. It adds a special door for the Inner Sanctum, which looks quite nice, honestly. I do wish they did a bit more work on it, but it's fine in the current state. It does glitch a bit, the doors I've seen. And for some reason, they're harder to open now. I'll be doing this a bit later. So, the Unpleasant Holding Cell, it's decent, honestly. Basically it just lowers resolve 2 times faster, and but it is easier for them to break out. English. It's easier for the agents to break out, I've noticed. Because I put 3 agents in here and see which ones break out first. This guy broke out first, second, and third by like a few seconds. So yeah, basically, Unpleasant Holding Cell is only slightly better than the Holding Cell. Now, Secure Holding Cell. This thing is absolute garbage. Like, this holding cell costs 5 power. This holding cell costs 10 power and 1 camera. Here's the thing, it only tells you when, 1 minion or agent escapes. Here's the thing. For the same cost of camera and the same cost of power, actually less power, you can put 1 camera here. You can do that and that. Now you got the whole guard room. So yeah, this just not good. Okay, now let me go on to the what is it? Okay, the 360 camera. This should have been the game from the very start. Like, you don't have to do any work to unlock any of these things either. You just automatically have to unlock. I feel like they could have at least done a side quest. Like, you stole these from an old evil villain or something. I don't know. Because they could have done something cool with it. They didn't. Not at all. So basically, the 360 camera is basically a camera, but it sees 360 degrees. Here's the thing. For only 4 more cameras, you can put cameras in, like... Okay, so here's what you do. Here's what I do, at least, in a big area like this. And then you put a camera here, a camera here, a camera here, and a camera there. For only 4 extra camera slots. Lost. You need, like, at least 2 of those guard tables. You can see everything. Versus this, to cover the same area, you need, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perhaps 6, unless you put it here, then let's just go with 5. 6. You need 6 instead of 4. And it's taking up valuable floor space, which you could be using instead to, put more casino items down. So it should have been in the game from the start, and it's just not that good. Now we're going on to the, minion worker stations. So, awful, absolutely awful. This only works during high alert. I'd enjoy if it didn't work. Sorry, it did work during not high alerts, like, the advanced guard station. But no, it only works during high alert. And they're quite garbage, these minions. So they're gonna be vanquished pretty easy, and they cost tons of money, too. So now let me go to the, is there a power item for this? No, here we go, betting items. For the Ingenious pack. Now, worker bed. Only workers can sleep here. It's kind of useless. Muscle minion bed. Now, this is actually a good one. Because, like, let's say there's an area you really want your guards at. Like, let's say you built a trap hallway this way, and you want some guards over here to take care of anyone in case they get through it. Because, like, you have some gold on the other side. But you don't want your muscle minions running all the way over here to sleep here. And you don't want your normal minions, science minions, and ballets being over here. You can put down muscle minion beds, and only muscle minions will go in the room, because there's only muscle minion beds. Then science beds. Only scientists can sleep here, so just, like, put it next to your research station. Valets. You can just, like, build a side room, like, right here, and put some valet beds, until the agents kill them all. Which is not that good. Then, there's no food items. There is morale items. Now, these morale items kind of feel a bit cheap in a certain way. There is morale items, right? Yeah, Puncho Bots. I mean, yeah, they cost 45,000 gold. Here's the thing. It temporarily boosts their morale for about 5 minutes, I've found out. 2 minions. And it's a big boost. It, like, doubles their morale. Which I don't think is really fair. And then, of course, you got true crime documentaries, which regenerate smarts insanely fast. And then you got further education, which gives them a lasting ability to regain smarts. Which, again, is overpowered. Then you got these items, which... The Scanotron, it regenerates their vitality in a very short time. Like this thing, better than anything else you got. The Rejuvenation Chamber is really good. It's better than all these other items combined. And the cloning machine, I wish this actually cloned minions, by the way. This is not a DLC item, it's just one of the things I don't really like. It doesn't actually clone your minions, it just clones one and kills the other one. It's not that good. It just restores their health to full in a matter of like a minute. Which if you ask me is a bit too long. Also, it does give you a few new doors, like the vault door, the prison door, but those don't really matter. Let's go on to the communication array. So, by organizing the networks more efficiently, it increases income. It increases income by like 2.5%. You're not going to get much income off this. And then this, the advanced computers. So what I did was, during another save, I had 3 minions on these advanced computers for 10 minutes at 0 intel. They gained me at least 10 intel in that time, with only scientists doing it. And then the computer console, set to only scientists with 3, gave me 15 intel versus this gave me 10 with scientists only, and this is cheaper. So for some reason, either my game doesn't like this just doesn't work, or this is just better. It's one or the other. And then there's no new items here. Scientist items. Again, we went over the Workatron stuff. They also have these power stations, which cost 1 power, 5,000. It's like a bed, but it takes up a bit more space. Almost. Then we got the overpowered guard stuff. So first off, we got the security checkpoint. Generates 1 camera and uses 1 camera. Okay, here's the overpowered thing about this. It instant gets rid of, like, basically any disguise. Any disguised agent who walks through, it's like the evil genius. It instant uncovers them. There's, like, no chance they get through. Then the melee trainer increases melee damage. And I've noticed, when I saw my martial artist do this, then he started attacking people. Instead of doing, like, the normal 20 damage per hit, he was doing at least 30 to 40. Then the agent disguise simulator. If you have someone on the agent disguise simulator who then goes to the security checkpoint, all the agents might as well lose hope. There's no way they're getting through. And then another overpowered thing is the target practice, which again increases range damage. So instead of hitmen doing 50 damage with their submachine guns, they now do like 60. Too much damage. But that is all the Ingenious items. Now on to the DLC loot items. So first we got the Ruins of Atlantis, which generates tech. Again, that's for the Polo DLC. So I'm not going to really rate this on its own. I'm rating these two together. I would say that this is a 10 out of 10. Like this would normally, I'd say this would be a 7 because it just generates tech. But then you got a trap item, and trap items are my favorite loot items, so this is automatically 10. And it does tons of damage too, unfortunately to your own minions as well. Then you go over to Cabal DLC. Cable, I don't know, I can't really say his name. This guy, Expectro, who is pretty good. He can clone himself, and he does more damage. So let's review him first, basically. So let's get him to fight a minion.
The Spectro is on the move.
Let's get him to fight
That minion has me seeing red.
3 minions, and let's see how well he does. Oh, 4.
I'm tired of that minion.
So if you see, I mean, this would happen anyways. These guys would come to help him, but he can handle a fight pretty well on his own. He has decent armor, and if I go to the page which shows all this, yeah, no, that's Deep 6. I want Expectro. Here he is. Yeah, he has max armor, decent damage, decent resolve too, which is, I'm sort of confused by that. Like, why is he decent at everything? And then if you do the piston punch, which powers up the next hit, he does max damage basically. As much damage as about Sir Daniel von Hemmingboom, the best henchman in the entire game. At least according to me. Anyways, now on to be his items. Now, do I have anyone who can use this? No. So I will, real quick, recruit someone who can use this. If I remember correctly, you know what? Since I was talking about Sir Daniel von Hemmingboom, let's recruit him. Okay. We gotta wait for him to come to the lair, so he should be coming through this helicopter. Any second now. Yep, here he is. Yep, there he is. Sir Daniel. Now,
Tally-ho.
One really cool thing about this is any person who worked with
In Chop Chop.
Expectro can use
Time
this.
for dilly-dally.
And here's what it does. Changes the outfit. If you ask me, this outfit's really cool. All these outfits.
What?
And if you don't like it, you can always switch it back. It does take up a little bit of their smarts. It takes like 1 smart, 2 smarts every time you use it. But I honestly prefer the upgraded look. But since it doesn't suit, because I'm only rating this on practical purpose, it'd be a 0 on practicality. But on coolness, it's a 10. Then you got the ray gun, which yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It's basically just a normal interrogation station, this thing right here, interrogation chair, but it shoots a laser beam. That's about it. It just takes up more space. It doesn't do anything. It just costs more power, it takes more space, and it's free. That's about it. Then you got the suit of the Ocean Master from the Polar DLC, which I'm also rating this with these two, which means it's automatically 10. The suit of the Jaw Master Deep 6, the suit of the Jaw Master's Diver, Deep 6, his greatest weapon in life, right up until it became your greatest weapon in his death. If you put your ear to it, you may hear the ocean. You may also hear his screams. Reduce agent resolve. Now, this is actually really good. I put this in front of some agents, and it reduced their resolve pretty quickly. It's about if they were at a one of those cash things, the thing that exchanges the cash. Problem is, rogues will try to steal this. So let me invite some agents to the lair real quick. That's why I'm doing it in this one, so I don't have to wait 3 years for an agent to come to the lair. We're going to do Investigator Attack Easy.
Side story.
Now, they should come in through here. Or there. Unless they come in, like, somewhere random in the base, but I don't think they should do that. Once they arrive, I can show you, this effect, because they're gonna have to walk through here. I'll make sure of it. Also, the Doomhilda DLC is decent. It's not the best. Just gives you Doomhilda. She's decent, but Incendio beats are in every single way. The distraction power, the ability to stun people, right the Valkyries. Just Incendio's just better. I do enjoy having all the DLCs because I really like Evil Genius 2. So if you want, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy any of these things. I'm just rating them based off what's the best, what's the worst. But yeah, the game is really good. I would recommend you buy it if you like the game. You think you like the game and it's on sale. Sure, you should buy it. Yeah, but look, so these agents will be forced to walk past in Jaws' suit, and then I will be rating the henchman himself. Because I already rated Doomhilda, she's just not good. I'd recommend her as the lowest of lows on the tier list. Hey, look at that. Demoralized. Unnerved by the proof of Deep Six's death. Look at that resolve. It drains 25 resolve, and this happens every time they walk by it. If I remember correctly. It's not just a one-time thing. If they walk back past it again, they should lose more resolve. And I wish there was more things like this. Like, I wish if you, like eliminated... Yeah, look, they're getting it again. This guy's gonna be forced to leave because he's so demoralized. And I'm pretty sure the longer they stay in the aura, the longer this lasts. Yeah, one of these guys should actually be leaving. Let me see, who is it? Yeah, this guy's got 0 resolve, but he won't leave because I summoned him and now he's forced to fight.
An intruder is in the lair.
Yeah, it's really good. Now, I wish there's more things like this, like maybe if you defeated Agent X, instead of being able to, like, recruit him, you could instead, like, find him, eliminate him, and, like, take his hat, and place it on a pedestal in the casino.
Complete.
Demoralizing the agents. I think that would be cool. Like, all the characters have it, like, something iconic about the characters. Like, Atomic Oga's machine gun. Agent X's hat. Wrecking Bola's hammer. Symmetry's goggles. Something like that. She does wear goggles, right? Let me check. Yeah, she wears goggles. And, I guess for, oh, and then, the best of them all, The one guy you can't recruit for some stupid reason, I don't know why, Blue Saint, you get like his mask. Blue Saint's mask on a pedestal. Or perhaps like John Steele's pistol. Like John Steele. I mean, it wouldn't really make any sense because all the John Steeles are basically just agents who've been promoted. But it would be cool if that was a thing. Kind of like this. Like it demoralized the agents. Now on to the DLC henchman, Deep Six. Deep Six is really good. He has max armor. So if you have him in Sir Daniel like stands behind him, Deep Six attacks. Best character combo is Deep Six and Sir Daniel. You just get him with this Deep Six in the front lines to take all the damage, and Sir Daniel shoots him dead. You can also construct a turret. It does break pretty quickly, but it does have a lot of damage. You can also become basically invincible with this ability. And now,
I'm listening.
Doomhilda. Ride of the Valkyries gives a damage and resistance buff and more morale to nearby minions. So let's go over here. And this guy's a little low on morale. So if I do Ride of the Valkyries,
Doomhilda's singing is to die for.
these people will now gain morale. Look at that. It does cost them 1 morale per second, but they gain people morale. Then Shattering Voice unleashes a powerful tone strong enough to stun anyone in the vicinity. It's not that good, honestly. Because, like, she can't attack while it's happening, so it's kind of just not good. Doomhilda herself is basically just a worse version of Eli Barracuda Jr. or Incendia. And is there any DLCs I'm missing? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, they really doesn't look like I missed any of the DLCs. Yeah, the game's great. I'd rate it 10 out of 10, man. Just 10 out of 10. It's a really good game. Although I have played it for a super long time, so again, this review of all the DLCs and the game is totally biased towards me liking the game because I like the game. And then again, I'm the only reliable source of information. You ask someone who's never played the game before, they'll be unbiased about it because they don't know anything about the game. But here's the thing, they don't know anything about the game. You ask someone who knows about it, they'll either be biased towards hating it or loving it. You're not going to find some in-between. I really like the game though, I would recommend it. It's on sale. Although then again, I only recommend you buying games on sale if anyone does buy a game who is watching. Just buy it on sale, man. It's definitely a lot cheaper to buy it on sale. And it's about $20 on sale, $40 normally, and in the UK for British pounds, I think it's $60 not on sale. But I don't know what it is in British currency or any other currency, but I think that's what it is. I think it's like £60, but I don't know. But yeah, is there anything I'm missing? Can I make sure? Oh yeah, I forgot to review. We got the Polar DLC 10 out of 10, alright? Polar DLC 10 out of 10. They got really good loot items. But for some reason it's only showing up the Nautilus here, but that doesn't make any sense. I got the other two. I had the Nautilus, I forgot to review that. Where is it? Where did I put that? Do I even have it? Basically, it's just a submarine, but imagine it's 10 times better. Yeah, you can't unlock any of the Doomsday devices in sandbox mode. So you're stuck with not having a single Doomsday device. But yeah, that is really all I have to say. And basically, I just built a rudimentary garbage base here to mostly just show everything. Oh yeah, by the way, the Tesla bomb is one of the best loot items in the entire game. 10 out of 10. 150 plus power. Speaking of which, I could rate all the loot items, but that would take far too long. There's at least 50 of them. So I'll only rate the best of the best that I would recommend you getting. That's right, I'm only going to be showing the best of the best. First off, all the DLC loot, I'd recommend. Sands of Time, no. Okay, Statue of Liberty's torch, I would recommend. It's a very good item, but you do need Eli Barracuda Jr. Broken Time Machine, I don't know how to get this, but it's really good. World's Largest Piggy Bank is decent. I'm pretty sure you just unlock it by getting to a certain point in the game. World's Oldest Bones do absolutely nothing. That's right, I've never seen them do absolutely anything. The Sarcophagus of the Pharaoh is super good. Dodo Educator is something I would recommend you getting. The whatever this is, flower, is what I'd recommend you getting as well. It's a really good trap item. The Smelly Flower of Death, as the minions call it. The A Million Bees is really good. Now, I'll also put things I do not recommend you getting. Dr. Jackal's potion makes them do increased damage and have increased armor. It drains all their smarts and they'll end up in jail to restore their smarts. Because they're being escorted to prison like any minion of no smarts would. I recommend the Bush Tucker Barbecue. Basically, it's sort of like the science station where nobody has to man it. And it gives a really good amount of smart regeneration. Sword in the Stone's a bit difficult to get. You need to summon on target Oga in the first chapter or play Emma to get it. Meditation Stone. You only need 20 martial artists by like as soon as you can get them. Or Jubei. It's really good. It gets rid of negative quirks of the minions. It's really good. I would recommend it. It's not a must-have, but it's good. Herbert Slice is not too good unless you're playing Red Ivan. If you're playing Red Ivan, then you basically have to get it. If you find like one of those hot spots where Havoc always hits, like say it's always hits the barracks, you put this slice there. That way, it no longer. English. The ray gun dispenser. You must defeat Agent X to get this, but it is really good. It's a pistol that does as much damage as the submachine gun per shot, and it comes right back as soon as the person wielding it dies. What's it called? Oh yeah, by the way, these trap loot items are the only loot items you can stack on top of each other. For instance, if I tried to like, I think if I tried to put this here... Wait, you can? I didn't think you could do that. I didn't know that. I guess you can combo anything with that, because like, let's say if I put this here, it makes sense I can't put that there. But if I put this like this and then this right here, I'm trying to demonstrate something that's not part of the review. Okay, now if I put this here, this flamethrower here, I can't put down anything else. Like I can't put down the freezing gas. I can't even put down killer bees. So tell me, why can this overlap with the abilities, but not this? How does that make any sense? Why can some things overlap and some things can't? Now that I've done with that little rant, I can go on to back to loot items. Rumpelstiltskin's wheel is pretty difficult to get. Costs you a lot of minions, but it's worth it in the long run. The Arabian Jars, it's basically just a loot item that prevents roads from stealing it. It's not really worth it at all. Now, from Flames of Prometheus, this is, unfortunately, most trap items are really good. This one's absolute garbage. If you have it near your traps, which you probably will, it will light them on fire, your traps, breaking them, damaging enemies, and causing your minions to basically just die. The Colombian Emerald. This one is awesome. You really need to get the Colombian Emerald. It's really good. It increases like the morale gain of all minions. Fort Knox doors. I've never gotten these normally. Like, I don't know how to get them, but they're really good. The Giant Egg. I think you have to have like 20 biologists by like Act 2 to get this. It is a really good loot item because it trains people into biologists and then gives them a research bonus for a little while. King Solomon's Mines? Not too good. The Declaration of Independence and the Flying Pig is things I would recommend because they're really easy to get. Along with the maple syrup, you only need at least like 5-10 biologists. And Evil Genius has their own like special loot items sometimes. You need that. These are all the loot items I recommend. I do not recommend you get Dr. Jekyll and Hyde's potion. It's complete garbage. But yeah, that'll be the end of today's video. This has been my review of Evil Genius 2 and all the DLCs. Except for really the Polar, I couldn't really technically review Polar's DLC correctly because I'm not playing Polar. I really should have been. But it doesn't really matter because I already reviewed all the Evil Geniuses in today's video. So, goodbye.